Hello and welcome guys to another video. In this video, I'll explain how to generate a video based on an initial reference image using Leonardo.ai. So the image does not have to be generated on Leonardo.ai, it could be generated somewhere else. So in my case, it will be on the drive, okay, and we will download it from the drive, and then we will upload it to Leonardo.ai, and then we will use that reference image to generate our video on Leonardo.ai, of course, from our n8n sequence. I did not find a very particular video that explains this process on YouTube, so it took me actually a little bit of time until I made it happen. So I thought I would record this video for you guys so you don't have to go through the same, research process. So let's get started.
Alright, so this is the sequence that we will be dealing with. We will be downloading a reference image from the drive, and we will send it to Leonardo.ai in order to move it with their motion model. And then we will get the URL. We will wait for a while until the generation happens. And then we will get the URL, download the video, and then upload it to the drive and make it shareable, and then send that link to a Google Sheet. Okay? So, in order to work with an image which was not generated already from Leonardo.ai, like for example an image from Google Drive, we need to do this step over here, which is a request we send to Leonardo, and we will get some kind of like a response with a URL, and this URL will be used in order to upload our reference image over here. So the best way to make you understand this is to build this sequence from scratch. So let's get started. So let's go ahead and start a new workflow. Alright, so now example, let's start with a manual trigger. And let's get a sheet. We'll have the URL for the image which we want to turn into a video on a Google Sheet I have. So we will get rows. Okay, in my case, I have my credentials already done. Make yours if you did not. Good. I have a document called content machine, and I will select a sheet that has got the URLs which we want to work with. Okay, so let's execute this. Okay, so over here we have got our response. Alright, over here it grabs the whole sheet. So I just want to get rid of the empty columns. I'm not considering them as items. This is just something from my particular case. You don't worry about this one because we're not going to be doing the same. Okay, so this is the code. Just to get rid of the empty columns, I'm not considering them as items. Don't worry about this one. This is just for my particular case, just to make the code work. So right now we have got the two items from our original sheet. I'll show you the sheet just to understand what's going on. So we have got those two items. Okay, so this is our sheet over here, and those are the URLs that we want to grab into our code in order to turn them into moving videos. So we have got two items, and the code has gotten rid of all the other empty rows. Okay. Okay, next we will be creating an HTTP request, because right now we want to upload the image, right? But in order to upload the image, you will need to send a request to Leonardo first, so they will send you back a URL to be used in order to upload the image. So let's go ahead, let's go to Leonardo.ai in order to fill the fields of this request. Alright, so currently I am on our documentation over here on Leonardo. So I will go to the documentation on Leonardo.ai, and I will go to initial images. Okay, and here we have upload an initial image over here. Okay, so here you will define, for example, PNG, the type of the image. Okay, according to your particular case, so you will fill in the type of the image which you want to upload, and over here you will fill in your API key. Okay, over here you will fill in your API key. So where do you get our API key? You will go here to Leonardo, and you will go here, and you will create a new key, and you will name it whatever you want, and you will generate, and you will copy the API key and and paste it back here, over here. Okay, so whatever it is over here, and then you will copy this curl request and get back to your HTTP request and import this whole thing and paste it and import, so it will fill up the fields for you. Okay, it will fill up the fields for you, and then you will execute the step. So it did not work because I did not fill in my API properly. Okay, I'm not able to invalid response from the authorization. Yeah, I will fill in my API right now. Okay, so I fixed my API because I just filled in some random value, and we got the response. So this is the ID of the image that you will be uploading, because you will use this whenever you want to generate using this image. Okay, so this is going to be the ID. Okay, and this is the URL which you will use in order to upload your image. Alright, so they have, so they said in now that they want those values within the fields to be sent along with the upload request. Okay, so we need to parse those values into key value pairs. Okay, so we will use the following code. This code over here. This code over here will parse the key value pairs into our sequence. Okay, so maybe I will leave this in the description if you want to copy it. So we will add a code right now, and we will paste this, and then we will execute the steps. So what did we do over here? We have created those variables, okay, from the sequence. Okay, and those variables are going to be used in our coming upload request. Okay, alright, so let's keep going and do the next step. Alright, so in my case over here, I'll be downloading the image from my Google Drive. Okay, using the link which I have gotten from the Google Sheet. Okay, so I have my credentials. Make yours if you did not, and then over here by URL. Okay, so let me run this whole sequence in order to generate the variables. Okay, let me run this again. I went back to get rows. I will pin those variables in order to use them. And just run and pin all those things. Okay, I'll send the request again, and I will pin. I'll go to the parse code, and I will run, and I will pin. So you pin the variables in order to be able to build the rest of your sequence using those already generated outputs from each of those blocks. Okay, so I went over here, and right now I want the URL which I have gotten from the sheet. Okay, so we have the image URL over here. So let's run this. And now we are downloading the image from the drive using this URL. Fantastic. So in our case, we have two rows and two images. Okay, and they will come in the form of binary data. Okay, with the name of data. So whenever you want to deal with those outputs, you will use the name data. Okay, so let's move forward. What do we do next? We will do right now the request for the Leonardo finally. Okay, so right now we will do the HTTP request in order to upload the image. Okay, how do we fill this? Now there's a reason why I have downloaded the image just before this request, because the binary data does not hold for multiple blocks. So kind of like the block which generate the binary data need to be right before where I will use it. Otherwise, it's not going to be offered in the next blocks. Okay, so this is why I have downloaded the file just before the block where I will use those binary data. Anyway, so now we will go back to Leonardo in order to get the code in order to be able to fill the fields of this request over here. Alright, so for the URL اسمها شكلي خلاص تخليها لك كده and the fuck up now. Okay, so first it's gonna have to be a post request, and then for the URL we will get back to the response that we have gotten before, and we said that they will send you the URL, right? So we will drag this URL over here. Okay, very good. And then we will send a body, and this body should be form data. Okay, and then what we will do right now is the following. We will enter this name, okay, and the name value for each of those variables within the fields. Okay, so we will copy this, okay, and we will drag the value over here. Okay, and then we will copy this name over here. Okay, and then we will add another parameter with the same type. Okay, and we will copy or drag the value over here, and it will be, of course, a bucket. Okay, and the first one will be content type, and so on and so forth. And we will do this over and over and over for every and each single one of those variables within the fields. Okay. Okay. And one last thing we will add is the binary file, and we will type data over here. Sorry, file. Over here we will write file, and we will write or type data over here. Okay, so let me show you in my original file. This is how it looks like. Let me show. This is how it worked. So I have copied the name and derived the value from each one of those variables within the field, and the last one was of type n8n binary file, and the name is file and data. Okay, for the binary data over here. Okay, so in order to make this work, I will copy my block into my other code to make sure it's working. Alright. So what do I have over here? Very nice. Let's try and execute this. Okay, just fix this. One fixed URL, it's not accepting it properly. Alright, so right now we're executing. Yeah, but right now we should run the sequence once again because the request is not is out of date. So we will run this whole sequence again right now. So I will go ahead and unpin everything in order to be able to run this again. I need to generate a new request for the upload. So let's execute this again. Very good. Very nice. So finally, we have uploaded our images. Okay, and right now, each one of the two images is already uploaded to the Leonardo servers and ready to be used in our generation. Alright, the next thing right now, after we have uploaded the image, is to generate the generation request. Okay, so let's go to Leonardo in order to get our curl and import it into this HTTP request over here. So I am at Leonardo and I will go to motion, generate SVG motion generation over here. Okay. Over here is where you will place your image ID. So right now I'll just call it 123 because we will replace that with our variable from the sequence. Is public false, is initial image, yeah, because in our case we have uploaded, so this one is true, is variation false, motion string for whatever you want. Okay, very good. And this is going to be your key, right? Okay, your API key. Okay, so I will copy this code and I will get back to my sequence and I will import this code into my sequence, into my HTTP request, sorry. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and fix my API key in order for this thing to work. Okay, so now for the image ID, I need to get the ID which I have gotten when I made the upload request, right? So, sorry, this request over here, we've gotten this ID. So Leonardo told me that this is going to be the ID of whatever images that you have or that you will upload. So let me just get rid of this random number over here. Now one more thing that you should do also is the following. You need to, for some reason, put this as an expression. Okay. Otherwise, it did not work with me. So I needed to put those as expressions in order for the format to work. Okay, what else do I have here to do? Please don't copy my thing. Anyway, let's try and execute this and see if it works. Alright,